my way to meet Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft, for much of his working life, the richest man in the world. And then he gave a lot of that money away, started a foundation to improve health and healthcare around the world. And he's particularly interested in preventing global pandemics. He's now written a book outlining his plan to prevent future outbreaks. And maybe he knows what he's talking about. Years before COVID, he gave a talk explaining why he believed we weren't ready for the next pandemic.
You saw this coming, and now you get to say the 4 sweetest words in the English language. I told you so.
Well, unfortunately, the warnings from lots of experts didn't lead to much preparation.
Can you just walk us through what the plan is?
Pandemics don't come along very often, and there's all sorts of health challenges. And so here I'm saying you have to have a team of experts that are helping us practice.
You mean like drill?
Exactly. Now, in the case of fire, firemen don't have many other responsibilities. And so the idea that they've got lots of time to do those drills. And we have small fires all the time that remind us you could have a big one. We have that as a kind of common sense.
One of the things Bill is proposing is a global epidemic response team, prepped and ready to go.
When you have something like epidemics that exponentially grow, quick reaction makes all the difference of whether you nip it before it gets to lots of countries or you let it go out like this one and there's not a country in the world that hasn't been devastated.
Is it a perfect plan? I don't know. Would it make things much better? Definitely. But how are you going to make people listen?
Well, I'm afraid we're going to have to remind them of what went on. The tragedies, the heroism, and the idea that with a few relatively inexpensive steps, this could have been avoided.
To help explain his plan and remind people how bad COVID was, Bill's team has created a touring exhibit.
This room is absolutely extraordinary. What are you trying to do here?
It's easy to forget how we were just feeling our way and how stunning it was. We weren't able, to stop incredible tragedy. We need to really rub our nose into how horrific that was and reduce the chance of that happening again.
Can we head on through and
Sure.
Talk me through it? I'll be happy to leave this room.
I want to know about the strategy Bill's come up with that he hopes will lead to a different outcome next time.
Wow. This is the level of optimism that you're shooting for, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. If you make it an outbreak that doesn't go global, then, it's a different world. And with the right tools, this could have been done. We actually have large-scale diagnostic machines that could be rolled out literally in tens of days. And we need to strengthen health systems that can have benefits even in non-pandemic years. And we're going to have that global team that will force countries to do drills, pandemic drills, so your government will do the worrying for you once they take it on.
Bill really wants us all to imagine a future where enough resources are on hand for the world to avoid another COVID-19.
So this is good news headlines.
That's right. We made this up. So it's not a crazy dream. And what is needed in terms of resources is not gigantic. It's not like what we're going to need to spend on climate change.
There's going to be resistance, there's misinformation, there are conspiracy theories, there's anti-vaxxers. How are you going to bring those people along?
The really wild stuff about some evil person caused the pandemic or that I'm tracking people, as we go through the democratic process, I don't think those voices will matter much.
Okay.
The relatives of those who died, they should be in there saying, don't forget these deaths. Let's learn from this.
So what Bill Gates is suggesting is kind of wildly optimistic, but this is what we should be demanding from governments around the world. We need a much better pandemic response system, and what he's suggesting might just work.
Yeah.